Welcome to the film studio. Let's begin. The film begins in Denver, CO in 1978. Kids and their folks have come for a ball game. Finney is a little fellow. He is pitching on the ground. His sister Gwen is biting him on. Two of Finney's contributes result strikes. Yet, on the third ball, Bruce hits and scores a grand slam. For this, Finney's group lost the match. After the match, Bruce values Finney that he has an extraordinary arm for bowling. Later on, Bruce is seen riding his bicycle all through town. En route, different students invited him. A dark van then, at that point, shows up before Bruce. He comes to an unexpected stop. Finney and Gwen live with their harmful alcoholic dad. Their mom ended it all, their dad actually grieving the misfortune. He could do without any sort of sound. Along these lines, Finney and Gwen must be cautious about every last strong. The kin begins strolling to school the following day. They notice a school menace Moose is provoking another youngster, Robin. Amazingly, Robin is turned gifted at battling. He rules Moose and beats his face to a horrendous mash seriously. Finney and Gwen continue to walk. Here she specifies an odd nearby ruffian known as the Grabber. This person grabbed a few children from the town and no follow was found for them. Very soon they discovered that Bruce has disappeared and everybody thinks that he is taken by the Grabber. At school, Finney is harassed by three young men. He hurries to the washroom and they additionally pursue him. They nearly inspired him to beat yet around, then Robin enters. Robin threatens the domineering jerks into avoiding Finney. Robin urges Finney to guard himself too. Two analysts visit the school in the meantime and talk with Gwen in the Central's office. Gwen claims that she has had dreams about the captured kids who are as yet absent. Yet, she can't understandable the meaning of these fantasies. The next morning, Finney stirs to find his dad manhandling Gwen. Due to the cops who came to his work environment and examined him concerning Gwen's fantasies and their association with Bruce's vanishing. Her dad mishandles Gwen all the more seriously after she breaks his wine bottle. Gwen is told to guarantee that her fantasies are incredible by him. Comparative dreams that her mom experienced were believed to be hunches. Afterward, Robin is zooming around the area on his bicycle. At the point when he turns the corner, the Grabber is remaining there with dark inflatables, prepared to welcome him. He has likewise disappeared. The locals' folks are recounted Robin's non-attendance. Then, at that point, Finney is sought after by the school menaces, who start to beat him. Gwen, however, supports him by hitting one harasser in the head with a stone. He had weighty draining thus. While the other two harassers keep on mishandling Finney, Gwen gets a kick to the face. Later on, in class, Finney's logical accomplice is relegated to be his crush, Donna. She communicates regret for Finney being attacked. While heading back home, Finney severs from Gwen. He goes over the van of the Grabber. In his demonstration, he spills his basic foods like a regular man. Finney, be that as it may, sees the dim inflatables. Finney is gone after by the Grabber, who utilizes synthetic splash to make it lights out time for him. He is then positioned inside the van. Not long after Finney disappears, Gwen and different understudies at the school find out. Finney is taken to the Grabber's basement where he is held hostage. There is just a single window, so in the event that he hollers, nobody will actually want to hear him. While taunting Finney, the Grabber guarantees him that he is exceptional. A disengaged dark telephone is mounted on the wall. The Grabber attests to have recently heard ringing. Afterward, Finney answers the ringing telephone. He hears Bruce's voice, who depicts Finney's baseball arm as mint, subsequent to seeing it. Bruce, be that as it may, can't remember his own name or his past exercises. Finney gets guidance from Bruce with respect to a spot on the floor where he can lift a tile and begin exhuming. Finney digs and washes the soil away forever the entire day. In a fantasy, Gwen observes a flashback to Bruce's initial years and the development of his baseball energy. In his discussion with Gwen, Mr. Blake makes reference to how Gwen's mom would specify having bad dreams that are dreams. He likewise accepts that she committed suicide subsequently. He, consequently, needs to save Gwen from misstepping the same way. Finney is given eggs and a Sprite by the Grabber, who guarantees him that the food is sterile. Moreover, he leaves the entryway opened, however Finney approaches it. A neighborhood paperboy named Billy might be heard on the opposite finish of the telephone's continued ringing. Finney's soul shows up close to him as they talk. He had cuts all over from the grabber. Billy cautions Finney that the grabber will be standing by higher up for him with a blade and that the opened entryway is a snare. Billy alludes to a link that was left in a wall break. The wire is slid up to the window bars while Finney snatches a rolled-up mat and makes an endeavor to get out. Yet, the bars are yanked off by his weight. He can't bear backing up thus. Billy's experience as a paperboy is portrayed in a further flashback. Before the grabber got him, he was doing conveyances with his canine. The examiners approach Max while they are strolling around the area. He is investigating the missing youngsters all alone. He confesses to the police that he is briefly dwelling with his sibling. As she looks for her sibling, Gwen attempts to gather anything data she can from her fantasies. Finney is asked his name by the grabber. In any case, he makes it up. Finney gets a paper from the grabber that reports on his vanishing. Yet again after he hangs up, the telephone rings, and Finney gets to converse with Griffin. Griffin's soul emerges close to Finney and shares with him a lock mix that he had noted down. This is a part of the underhanded kid game that the grabber appreciates playing with his casualties. Finney finds the figures. Griffin, nonetheless, can't remember the specific mix. Finney crawls higher up and attempts each conceivable blend till he opens the entryway when the grabber is sound sleeping. Tragically, Samson, the grabber's canine, barks at the opening, stirring the grabber from his rest. Finney escapes the house, however the grabber catches him similarly as he is going to go across the road. The grabber takes steps to kill Finney there and afterward on the off chance that he makes an unsettling influence when neighbors switch on their lights. Prior to taking Finney back, he holds on until the lights are switched off. Yet again later, the telephone rings. This time, Vance Container, a nearby troublemaker, can be heard addressing Finney. In a flashback, Vance is seen battling with two youngsters at an arcade after one of them played with his high score. He was speedily arrested. In the flashback, Gwen is seen remaining close to Vance as he chats with Finney on the police radio. Finney, notwithstanding, can't hear Gwen interesting to him. They show up at a home. Gwen tries to review the number. Afterward, when she looks for the house on her bicycle through the area, she is surprised by the phantoms of the grabber's casualties. Heeding Vance's direction, Finney finds a cooler in a secret region behind a wall. Finney applies all of his power against the entryway yet to no outcome. He begins to cry as he understands he could die there. Yet again he gets the telephone when it rings. Robin answers and reviews his own life as well as Finney's. He guarantees that he has forever been Finney's companion. Thus right currently is the point at which he actually needs to shield himself. Robin educates Finney to work on involving the telephone as a weapon and to stuff soil into the collector to give it weight. Gwen reaches out to the analysts and goes to the location she found in her bad dreams with them. As this is going on, Max finds that the missing youngsters are in the home he is residing in. Since he is the sibling of the grabber. At the point when he enters the storm cellar, he is astonished to see Finney there. The grabber kills Max with a hatchet to the skull as he attempts to help. He seeks after Finney, however the kid has utilized all the phantom children's help accessible to him. By utilizing the line to trip the grabber and dump him into the opening, he covers the opening he dug with a mat. After it strikes the window's bars, he breaks his lower leg. The telephone then rings again as Finney begins crying into the grabber. The grabber is killed after Finney causes him to hear the voices of his casualties ridiculing him for passing on. To redirect Samson, he removes a steak from the cooler and hands it to him. The house is unfilled when the specialists look at it, yet one of them finds the storm cellar. The other 5 fellows' demises are found covered in the ground by the analysts rather than Finney. Across the road is the home where Finney was being confined. Gwen sees him and rushes to her sibling as he opens the entryway and steps outside into the daylight. The children are dealt with by the specialists, and their dad, who apologizes to the two of them for how he treated them, gets them. Finney is more guaranteed than any other time in recent memory when she returns to school. The domineering jerks never again try to irritate him, and different children see him as a legend for killing the grabber. At the point when he rejoins Donna in science class, he demands that she allude to him as Finn. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel.